Greetings, one and all. Welcome back to NHL 17 franchise mode with your Detroit Red Wings. Yes, we are back here again, halfway through year 4 of our journey through Detroit and their franchise mode. We are currently second place in the Atlantic Division, 26, 13 and 2 we are currently going. 4 points behind Tampa Bay, 4 points ahead of Florida. So we're sitting nice and pretty there. So if we just take a look at this team again, just before we carry on, we've got an injury to Morand, who has shot up our depth chart like crazy. Morin's currently sitting in there. We've got Mantha's now up at an 88. We've got Mateau up at an 84. We've got, I think that's it, actually. Then we've got Gardner. Darnell Nurse is up at an 87. We've got De Kaiser. Schultz and Cowan are up at 84s as well. And our goaltending, of course, Peter Mrazek and Oscar Dansk, who's actually played all right for us. 15 wins in 24 games this season for Dansk, with 11 wins out of 18 for Peter Mrazek. So the real question is, when the trade deadline gets here, dependent on where our team is, do we trade Peter Mrazek and maybe a first-round pick or something to get a solid goaltender? Well, I don't think we'll know the answer to the first half of that until we actually get to the trade deadline. So we are coming off 2 wins before the trade deadline. So let's get ourselves up to the trade deadline and we'll see what we need to do there. So 26, 13 and 2. We start the episode with an overtime win against the Washington Capitals. Grand Rapids player has been injured. That's not a problem. That's Grand Rapids, who are also playing very well. 25, 13 and 1. Oh, Antoine Vermand. Who am I talking about? Antoine Morand. He's back and he's ready to play. He is 86 overall. Well, he's 87 overall now. Bloody hell, he's having a great time. He might actually jump if he jumps up to a 90 overall, that would be amazing. Especially by next season. So home game against Boston, we win 3-1. Good, on a 4-game winning streak. 2 from last episode, 2 from this episode. Home game against the San Jose Sharks. We take a 9-4 loss. Oh my god. Wow. Against the Ottawa Senators, we win in overtime 3-2. And an away game against Carolina, we lose 5-2. Okay, so we've almost hit 30 wins on the season. We're keeping pretty good pace, I would say. We've won 4 of the last 6 games. We've got an away game against the Blues, and we take a 5-2 win. Oh, hello. So the New York Islanders want to take Columbus's 3rd round pick of the draft for Emerson Eaton. Well, I know how well he played for the New York Rangers recently, so I'm not sure I want that. 81 overall. He's a 4th line forward. I'm not going to trade a 3rd round pick away for that. Definitely not. I'll definitely go a prospect in a 4th, at least. Away against Colorado, we win 3-1. Good. We're getting some solid wins here. Away against the Florida Panthers. What do we do here then? Come on, let's get a win. Yeah, 6-3 win. We're on a solid win streak. We're almost going to hit 40 wins in the season. So then we'll scout forwards in La Liga for 2 weeks. 32 wins on the season. An away game against Pittsburgh, and we win. A home game against the St. Louis Blues. We overtime lose, but we get a point there. So we haven't lost in regulation in quite a while. Home game against Colorado, a shootout win. Peter Mrazek is injured, though. But I think he might have just come back from injury, because I haven't had anything happen. Against Montreal, a 3-1 win. Yep, Mrazek's back. Wow. February has been a solid month for us. Home game against Pittsburgh, we lose. An away game against the Rangers, an overtime win. Only 1 regulation loss so far in February. 15th of February, home game against Boston. Can we get a win against the Bruins? Can we? Yes, we can. A 3-1 win. Away against the New York Islanders. Let's have a look. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, scouting assignment. Okay. Let's scout in the DL for 2 weeks. Why not? An away game against the Islanders. Another 3-1 win. Home against the Dallas Stars. A 2-0 win, so a shutout. Home game again. Oh, hello. Oh, no. Matt Duchene's been injured again. Oh, God. Oh, Dylan Larkin's up to an 88, though. So, you can slot yourself in there quite nicely, mate. Then Morand can play there. And we'll get Morin to come and play on the wing. Good idea. So Morin gets to play on the wing. Substituting all lines. There you go. Perfect. Athanasio's up to an 85 as well. Home game against Washington. We lose 6-2. A home game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're almost at 40 wins on the season. And we win. There you go. 40th win of the season for the Detroit Red Wings. Matt Duchene is available to play in the team's next game, which is perfect. So I think we will do that. Nope, that's Mateau. Want to leave Mateau there. Scratch Morin, please. Morand can then go there. We can have Dylan Larkin drop back here and have Matt Duchene come up here. Is he still an 89? He is still an 89. Well, Dylan Larkin's at an 88, so he might surpass him, actually. But there you go. So our top 6 is a lot better. No, I don't want Alexander Steen. He's like 79 overall. An away game against the Arizona Coyotes. They're still under 500 and we get a shootout win. So then we have an away game against the Anaheim Ducks. Jake Gardner's been injured. We'll replace the player. We have some solid depth on our team, so that should be fine. Away game against Anaheim, shootout loss. And a game against the Edmonton Oilers. And we lose. So we only lost 3 times in regulation in the month of February. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins. So we went 10, 3, and 1, 2... Yeah, 10, 3, and 2 in February. And the end of January was pretty solid for us as well. We only lost 2 games in regulation from mid-January onwards. So we have had a solid warpath on the way to winning what we're doing. And we should be top of our division, right? We are top... Wow, we are top by 14 points, or 13 points. Top of our division by 13 points. Matt Duchene, 53 points on the season for himself. 53 points in 53 games. He's a point per game for us. Dylan Larkin, 51 and 63. Tyler Bertuzzi, 48 and 63. And Anthony Mantha, 45 and 63. Morand is also 41 and 48. Wow. We are getting some solid point production from our players. So if we just take a look at the league at the moment, I just want to see where we're at. If we look at the entire league, we are second place. We've played one more game than the Anaheim Ducks, who won the Cup last year. We are literally only we're literally the same points as first place. And there's a massive gap. There's a 7-point gap between second and third and fourth. Wow, so it's between the Anaheim Ducks and the Detroit Red Wings at the moment for the President's Trophy race. So, now the big question is here. We're at the trade deadline. Do we want to trade for a star goaltender? I think we should, because we need to. The only problem is, which one do we go for and how much do we give up? We are currently a hopeful. I don't think we're a hopeful. We're doing really well. So the Boston Bruins are the team that have two different guys that could slot into our lineup quite nicely. They have Tuukka Rask and Malcolm Subban. Malcolm Subban, better overall, less trade value as well. He's got 1 year left on this contract, so he'll need a massive raise by the end of the season, but we've got the salary cap to do it. So I really think we should trade for Malcolm Subban. So if we chuck in Peter Mrazek, he's been helpful, but he's not quite been what we've needed him to. Then, say if we chuck in a first from 2021 and the second round pick of Columbus this year. I tried something similar last year, but my first round pick this year is going to be worth less than the one next year because I'm top of the league at the moment. So I really want to get Malcolm Subban if possible. He's 26 years old. He's 91 overall. He's got a save percentage of 914 with 1 shutout on the season. A 91 rated goaltender would be tremendous for us. I mean, a 901 save percentage for Mrazek, goals against of 287. He's played 35 games, got 23 wins. He's got 26 wins and 47. But that's also because maybe the Bruins haven't been playing that well, and they've got Tuukka Rask there as well. So Malcolm Subban would become the legitimate starting goaltender on the Detroit Red Wings franchise. And the other side, the Bruins would get Mrazek, a first and a second round pick for this year's draft. So will this go through? No, it won't. Okay. Boston isn't willing to do what you are proposing here. I don't really want to go... Let's try and chuck in a prospect, see if that makes any sort of difference. So skaters matching the block. We got any prospects that would like to join the team? Novoselic. No, he's the guy that we picked in the first round last year. Zazula. We've got Morin. Oh, there's a different Morin. He's 82 at 24. He's a defenseman, isn't he? Yeah, Samuel Morin. We've got Russo. We have got some depth on this defense position, so maybe we should go for one of them. Morin. Yeah, we'll chuck in Morin as well. Oh, no, actually, let's chuck in Sprawl. No, they'll have more skaters in the organisation. Maybe we've got to go for an unsigned guy then. We could go for Zazula. Would that change it up? Yes, okay. So we'll try Mrazek, a first and a second, and Zazula for Malcolm Subban. Will that go through? No, it won't. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to trust that we can do what we can with Peter Mrazek. Peter Mrazek, you have to prove something to me now. You need to prove to me that you can take this team to the next heights. Because I'm going to trust you to help us win the Stanley Cup here. So don't let me down. Right, so let's go to the end of the season. We don't need to make any sort of trades. We're pretty much okay with them. So everything else, it was everything else except the goaltending that I was really looking at. So another scouting assignment. Let's scout defensemen in USA for 2 weeks. So the trade deadline has come and gone, and Detroit were virtually silent. Well, they were silent. They were completely silent. Okay, a home game against Ottawa. Oh, Jake Gardner's back. Perfect. Means our defensive core will be stacked again. So, Ryan Sproul, thank you for helping me up in the top pair. Don't know why you were getting top pair minutes, but thank you for your help. Although, gonna have to go. Gotta let Gardner come back in. So, against Ottawa, we start after the trade deadline with a shootout loss. So, not the best, not the worst. What can you do? It's an extra point. So, against Carolina, we win 7-2. Good. Some great scoring. I'm quite glad I didn't go for Gustav Nyquist now. Against the Islanders, we lose at... It's not Nassau Coliseum anymore, is it? Or is that the new one? I can't remember. Oh, who cares? 2-1 loss against them. A 6-2 loss against Tampa Bay. Okay, March hasn't started off very well. An away game against Buffalo, an overtime loss. If we're going to lose, let's do it in an overtime or a shootout. Riley Sheahan's been injured. Poor guy. Against Minnesota, a home game. Can we get some wins here? Oh, another scouting assignment. Wow, I'm going to make sure I scout everywhere this time. 2 weeks in the National League. Against Minnesota, we win 4-1. Good. Second win of the month. Riley Sheahan's back for Grand Rapids, who are playing incredibly well as well. Against Florida, a 2-1 loss. That's a bit of a shame. Against the New York Rangers, away, a shootout win. Good. Against Philadelphia, a 3-1 win. Good. 2 straight wins. Struggled with that in March. But let's see if we can keep going. A win against the Montreal Canadiens. Only allowed 1 goal in the last 2 games. Home game against the Lightning. An overtime win. There you go. 4 straight wins for the side against Chicago. A 5-2 loss. We're so close to getting 50 wins on the season as well. Against Ottawa. Can we get a win against the Sens? Let's get a win against the Sens. Oh, Matt Duchene's been injured apparently. Well, that's not very good. Could you maybe not be injured? That would help. Oh, a scout defenseman here for 2 weeks. So, a game against Ottawa, and we win. Good, 5-1. Oh, good. He's back from injury already. Thanks, Duchene. Away against Montreal, a 5-2 loss. An overtime loss against New Jersey. So, Grand Rapids have qualified for the playoffs. I think we have as well. A 3-0 loss against Buffalo. This is not how we want to go into the playoffs on a losing streak. Against Columbus, we lose 6-0. Oh, my God. Shutout in 2 straight games. Danny DeKeyser's been injured. That doesn't help. Against the Rangers, a 4-3 loss. And against Buffalo. Wow, so we finished the year on a 6-game losing streak. We go 48, 27, and 7. So we managed to take top of our division, top of the conference as well, I believe. Did we win the President's Trophy, though? I have a feeling that the Anaheim Ducks might have taken it. 103 points, only 3 above the Tampa Bay Lightning. And we did not. Wow, the Columbus Blue Jackets took the... Oh, well, now it's between these 2 teams to see who takes it. I might drop down to 4th in the league. Oh, no, because the Predators have already played their 82nd game. So that was a win-win trade for the Nashville Predators and the Detroit Red Wings, by the looks of it. It was a win-win for both of them. So I didn't clinch the conference because the Columbus Blue Jackets have done that. So Dylan Larkin had a career year for himself. 67 points in 82 games for the side. And that is the best he has ever played for our team, so that's good. Matt Duchene, 63 points in his first year with the team. That is the best he's had since 16-17. And this is the 3rd best season he's had since the 13-14 season. Oh, pardon me, 13-14 season. And he was injured for 10 games as well. Craig Smith, 54. Tyler Bertuzzi, 54 points. Considering his point totals last year were 27, he exactly doubled his point totals. And he was a plus player. He scored 20 goals for the side. Dylan Larkin, almost a 30-goal scorer. Anthony Mantha, almost a 30-goal scorer. He had 50 points on the year. That's 2 more than his total last year. So a lot of guys doing well. William Nylander, he didn't have that many points. He did have more than last year, though. So well done to him. That's the most he's ever had. So this team's actually managed to all improve, pretty much. I'm very happy with that. So we will see who we play up against in the first round. I assume we are going to play against the Florida Panthers or the Boston Bruins. It's one of those 2 we're going up against. Oh, the Florida Panthers lost it, so they're not going against us. The Florida Panthers, it took until the last day of the season and they lost their place. Morand is still 87 overall, which is absolutely perfect. This defensive core, even though we don't have that star defenseman, we have got quite a lot of really solid guys here. Because if one guy gets injured, it's not as if we're bringing in a 78, we're bringing in an 82. There's only a couple of overall points that are being dropped. So the regular season has ended, and we are up against the Boston Bruins for round 1 of the 2020 NHL playoffs. So I'm going to end this episode here then, guys. We've done a fantastic job to get us back to the playoffs. We completely blew up the roster at the end of last season, and it's paid off. It's absolutely paid off because we've picked up some really solid guys. So yes, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.